Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Star Fox Adventures. In the last episode, we returned the sun and the moonstones from their sides of the temple back to the main temple, and unlocked this, a warp pad to the final Krazoa Palace in the game. Krazoa Palace? Krazoa Spirit in the game. So, let's go ahead and do it. This one brings in a couple of aspects from the previous shrines we've gone through, which is quite cool, and the test at the end is interesting and difficult. So, well, it's not difficult, but it's one of those ones, again, if you know what you're doing, it's generally fine, but the first time you do it, you'll probably fuck up just because you need to think about what you're doing. But damn, we're getting close to the end of the game now. This has gone quicker than I expected, actually. I guess I've been kind of... Again, I wouldn't say I've been speedrunning through it, but it feels like I've got through it quite quickly. At least compared to, like, other LPs I've seen of this take about 40 episodes, whereas this one's only taking more like close to 30, I imagine this will be now, instead. But, oh, I'll talk about the actual temple first. This is for now, just press the switch, open the gate, run through and get to the gate before it closes. Straightforward enough. Yeah, other ones have taken about 40 episodes, but then again, I'm doing slightly longer episodes, so I'm averaging 20 minutes, where the ones I've watched average 15 minutes-ish per episode. But, oh well. Now on this one, you'll notice there isn't a switch here, so we'll just go ahead and go for it. And let's freeze these things. Hup. And whip. But when we get to the end, yeah, there wasn't a switch, but the gate's still locked. But if you remember all the way back to the Moon Mountain past Krazoa Spirits, there's a sun pad up there. It's quite nice that it's kind of referencing that, and just to kind of like press the switch and go through the gate before it closes. It's like the one in Lightfoot Village with the Test of Fear in it. Of all the Krazoa palaces. Krazoa palaces, I keep calling that Krazoa shrines, that's the one I know the most, because I used to fail the Test of Fear a lot as a child. Anyway, there are 6 things here. Before talking to the spirit, I'm just going to go through all of them, because you'll notice they look like places we've been. Like, space! That one's supposed to be, I think. I can't really tell, but that's Dark Eye's Mines, clearly. This one shows the Walled City. Then on the other side, this one shows the Moon Mountain Pass, with a little hole for a Kelder Chom in it. This one shows no, that's not Cloud Runner Fortress, that is Lightfoot Village. And this one shows Cloud Runner Fortress. So, with that in mind... Test 5, the test of knowledge. Match the items with the levels. If you succeed, I'll become yours to return to the Krazoa Palace. So there's 6 little items that appear on the ground, each of which be returned to the right matching dig. So this is a gold tooth. So it comes to Walled City, because of the gold tooth we use to kind of unlock King Red-Eye's lair. This is the dinosaur horn, the which of course fits in Dark Eye's Mines. Would also fit in Snowhorn Wastes, though. This is the Cloud Runner Flute, which we still have as well, which goes doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and so of course fits in Cloud Runner Fortress. Down at the bottom, this is a Moon Seed, which of course, obviously, fits in Moon Mountain Pass. As you can see, we're timed in the bottom left. And there's not a great deal of time, like you haven't got a lot of margin for error, you have to really know what you're doing, you don't have much time to think. This is some kind of totemy looking rock, still haven't worked out entirely what that is, but I can tell you it goes in Lightfoot Village. And that leaves us one final thing, which is a meteorite, which of course goes in space. Yeah, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? And that's the final test of knowledge. So I finished, what, with about 20 seconds left there? So if you hadn't looked at them first and didn't really know what all the items were, you probably would fail that the first time, I think. Like, it's not easy, you just have to know what you're doing. But we got the final Krazoa Spirit, which is awesome. And now this marks an important moment, because now we've got the spirit, it is literally impossible for us to return to normal dinosaur planet. I'll explain why more when we get there, because we've got a big cutscene before then. But that is...
This is it, Tricky. It's time to say goodbye.
I know you're right, Fox. It's just...
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna miss you too. Without your help, this mission would have failed, so I've got something for you. Prince Tricky, Earthwalker, you are now an honorary member of the Star Fox team.
Dad, did you hear that? Me, a member of Star Fox. Do I get my own spaceship?
I'll come and visit you soon.
Just don't make it too long, okay? Let's play!
Even though Tricky is annoying, it is always slightly sad that we leave him here, because he follows us this far, and then he stops on the other side of the wall, which is really sad. And the fact of the day, we do actually visit him again in the sequel to this Star Fox Assault. Does take place on this planet, which is called Dinosaur Planets on this, but they retroactively refer to it as Sauria. And you do come across Tricky there, and he's fully grown in the King Earthwalker, and it's kind of cool, but otherwise that game was generally a big pile of ass, so at least I didn't like it. Maybe that's just me, but it was kind of cool they referenced him in there. But that was about it. Now, basically, the interesting thing is we do the same flight back to Dinosaur Planet, but we actually fly directly to Krazoa Palace. There is no way of returning to Thorntail Hollow or anywhere now. Can't go to Walled City, can't go to Cloud Run Fortress, can't go to Dragon Rock, can't go to Darkseid's Mines. Only Dinosaur Planet left.
Let's go, Fox! Get that spirit directly back to the Krazoa Palace. I have adjusted your flight path so that you will land at the top of the palace. As soon as you get there, head down inside to release the spirit. Pepper out!
You've seen me do the run to Dinosaur Planet roughly 1 billion times, so speed her on! Bollocks, that would have been a fantastic run. Probably my highest score yet if I'd not fucked up and missed the last ring. That's really annoying. Ah, damn you other doctors. Well, there's my final 5 scores on Dinosaur Planet, so that was kind of cool. Anyway, now this is kind of cool, because we land right on top of Krazoa Palace. Right next to the Crystalometer, which is pretty cool. And I can barely ever remember this part of the game, so this is going to be interesting, because it's always like, words. It's slightly confusing, and it's going to be a slower... words! God damn it. Basically, what I meant to say is it's not the standard run through Krazoa Palace, because we're approaching from this angle. But I think what we do for now is drop down this wind lift. That's not a downwind lift, that's an upwind lift. So we need to go down to the other side, obviously. Can't use that one for some reason. You have to use a special one this time, which is on the 3rd floor, I believe it is. Whee! Yep, that's the down lift. And I think it's over there on the other... Nope, it's not on the other side. Where the hell is it? We need to... Is it on the 2nd floor? Not sure what Fox is roaring about there. He's fine. I think it is on this floor. I honestly can... As I say, I can never remember this part of the game for some reason. Yeah, it's through those red bits on the other side there. Sharpclaw is after me somewhere. But I cannot. Yeah, here we go. It's just through here. This one's, yeah, it's a really weird thing because we go through all this tube thing and have to climb over here. Not climb over here, just jump using the wind lift. Yeah, that wind lift's not normally active, so you can't come across here. Like, whereas all the normal ones are just like behind a Sharpclaw door or a portal door, this one's a bit further along, which is kind of cool, and you go into this balcony area with a Sharpclaw on it. One of the final Sharpclaw we will ever fight in the game, so that's kind of cool, with the exception of the big dog. Yeah, you kind of forgotten about General Scales, hadn't you? He is still around, and it's not raining. That's kind of cool. I think it's the first time it's not been raining in Krazoa Palace for as long as I can remember. Anyway, kerplunk! Fortunately I'm not recording anything else of myself there, because I did the full kind of arm gesture that Fox did as well while I was singing. That was really embarrassing. But no one will ever see it, you'll only hear of it, and there's no proof that it actually happened, so that's awesome. And up goes the final spirit up to the roof. So... things are happening. That's new. I think we should go up there, don't you? Now, if we go over here... Oh, my R-Wing's still parked there, I forgot. This isn't where I parked my car. If we go over here... That is the little kind of temple that was just opened. So, let's go through there. What could be through there? You actually have no idea at this point, because of course we've returned all 5 Krazoa spirits, so where does this lead? Surprise. Do we see an acid trip on this one? I can't remember if we do or not. You know the thing where Fox is like flying through the air? I suppose we're not travelling any distance, so we don't see an acid trip. No, we don't, that's a shame. This looks awfully like a Krazoa shrine, doesn't it? But what is it? We were told there were only 5 Krazoa spirits. One life force guarding that door. Just one. and some of the coolest music in the game. Who do you think could be through here then? What's the one life force we have to kill?
I've been waiting for you, Fox McCloud. Yeah! You may have returned the Spellstones, but the war is not over yet. Now you must face me.
Stop! Scales! You are no longer any use to me.
Who are you? I demand you show yourself.
I am the one you brought to Krazoa Palace. The Earthwalkers could see me, but you could not.
I don't understand.
No, I didn't think you would. Your desire for power overwhelmed you and blinded you to the truth inside. Now give Fox what he's looking for. Give him the final Krazoa spirit.
You will regret this.
It was in him all this time. But that voice, I recognize it from somewhere.
So, a lot of crazy stuff just happened. We don't get a boss fight with Scales. Scales is killed by a mysterious force. Which you'll also, the very wise among you will recognise that the colour scheme when that being looks at us was the same weird colours that we saw when Krystal was trapped at the beginning of the game, and she shouted, "It's you, ah." So, have a little think about that for a second. But yeah, it always disappointed me we don't get a boss fight with Scales. But that last scene probably raised a lot of questions in you, so without further ado, let's try and answer some of them. And release our final spirit. I kind of thought it started a cutscene there automatically for me, it didn't! But yeah, so there are a lot of questions that thing brings up, which some are explained now, some are not, so I'll kind of talk through them shortly. But, final spirit released. Apparently there's actually 6, no one told us that. But with all 6 spirits, of course, something important happens. Guess what?
What's going on? You said this would save her. No! Wake up! Wake up!
I am reborn, the mighty Krazoa god. Hello, those that stand before me.
We will never kneel to you! Give me that!
Hey, wait! Well, thanks for nothing. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be standing here at all.
My staff! You're back.
Yes, unfortunately the final boss is entirely fought in our wing. Slightly annoying, but what can you do? Anyway.
I've been looking forward to this day, to see you again, Fox McCloud.
Andros!
And now, to destroy the Lilac system!
I've got to stop it.
Yeah, I find that very annoying. Anyway, there's 3 clear spots on this that you aim for. The eyes and the top of the head. It shoots this weird circle beam at you like the Krazoa face for now, but you can dodge that pretty easily and just when you get a chance fire at the eye holes. It really annoys me that Andros is the final boss because of all that crap with scales then, it feels like they basically fucked over what was generally a good plot of the game, but they fucked it all over, changed it up last minute just to segue Andros in. Like that whole scene with him and Scales, it would be nice if you just had a final fight with Scales there, won, got the Krazoa Spirit, rescued Krystal, and that was the end of the game, but no, instead they factor Andros in. One of Nintendo's ever classic type of boss with hands, as in floating head and 2 hands. I think he might have been one of the first, but I'm still not entirely sure if Andros is difficult or not, or whether again it was just a childhood thing. That's dodgeable if you do a barrel roll. I haven't actually taken any damage on him so far. This will be where I really test whether I can complete this game without dying or not, because so far I haven't over the entire LP. But he's kind of difficult, just because I don't like the R-wing sections. Like, I'm fine on foot, but I ain't brilliant in an R-wing, I'll admit. Because as I say, I don't like these kind of games, and you're going to hear a lot of right-clicking throughout all this. And then we're back on the Krazoa face. The Krazoa face is slightly upgraded now. It shoots for slightly longer, and I think it can do another attack now. That's one eye down. Oh yeah, that's it. It can fire missiles now of the sort we saw in Dragon Rock, which is interesting. And that's the second eye down. Oh, I've taken my first unit of damage. Yeah, I should actually be fine on this. But yeah, I would have... Oh. Like, this game, it throws you a bit of a curveball with the whole, oh, you need to go back to Walled City thing, but I was okay with that, because it felt like it was coming from the right place. But now, this just feels like, oh, it's a Fox game, so we needed to fit Andros in there, but it feels like a lot of plot was undone by the act of having Andros in it, which is slightly irritating. And we're back up to full health. Yep, awesome. And with the suction, should happen next. Yep. Ooh. Come on. Yeah, we're fine. If he inhales you there, he actually does a fair bit of damage to you, I think, but... Oh yeah, that's the thing now. Now he can shoot beams from the hand, which makes him a lot harder to hit. And now he sucks you in again, and you can't escape this one! Haha! But at the last moment...
Hey, McCloud. Different time, different planet, and you still need Falco's help. It's good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, Falco! Literally, it seems like in the last 10 minutes of this game, they were like, oh shit, this is a Fox game, isn't it? Fuck. We need to fit some Fox characters in. That's what, there was one of the cheat tokens, if you remember, referred to an old friend who's abandoned you, who comes back soon. That was referring to Falco. Kind of don't care, though. That's the only thing with it. But what we need to do now is, at this moment, Falco flies past and drops us a bomb. So we have a bomb now. And now we just need to wait for our moment to strike. Which is, when he's inhaling, bomb him right in the gob. And now we can fire on his brain, which is apparently his weak spots. Don't even ask me why he turns invisible when you shoot a bomb into his mouth. At this point, you can risk to take a lot of damage, just because you've got so much health. And I'm doing fine on him. Hope you're good at hammering A. I've actually got a lot better at hammering A over the course of this LP. Just through... because it's forced me to be good at it. Doing shit like the fucking muscle foot test and all the stuff on Dragon Rock. Can you just dodge that? Yeah, you can just dodge that by spin attacking, that's fine. Well, doing a barrel roll, and that's another bomb for me. Should be able to take his brain out this time. And then, that's the end of a very disappointing final boss, and probably my only lasting problem with this game is the disappointing last 10 minutes of it, essentially. Can we get him all on this one? Or will it make us do 3 attack runs on him? Nah, we got him. Oh, face melting, that's cool. And that's it. That is the final boss. That's probably the quickest I've ever done it, which is quite good. And yeah, so that's what slightly bugs me about this game, that I guess maybe this was, for Star Fox fans, this probably redeemed the game in some way in their eyes, but for me, it feels like at the last 10 minutes they suddenly changed the feel of the entire game, and it was a shame. But that's it. Now we get to see the planet coming back together. There's Dark Ice Mines, and that's the actual map of it. Like, that lines up with everything you can see, which is kind of cool. It's cool seeing the Krazoa pushing everything back together. Cloud Runner Fortress, which is still in a really cool location. I love it being on a cliff over there. Dragon Rock, with the central tower, which is awesome. And what I imagine is the walled city, but you can't really see from that angle. See from that angle. And then, hooray! The planet is whole! At least that part of the plot did stay the same. It was, the planet exploded, let's get the planet back together. That much of it was still working. But now... Apparently the Sharpclaw weren't evil, they were just under Scales' tyrannical rule, which is nice to know. And one of them's got his belt, which is hilarious as well. And that's the only time we see good weather around Krazoa Palace. And that statue is headless, because that statue was Andros, and probably was the whole time, which is an interesting thought, that he was just watching us. So I always assumed it was him who trapped Krystal, but I'm still not 100% sure how.
We did it, Fox!
Dinosaur Planet is saved!
Andros is defeated once again!
You all did a great job.
General Pepper here. Good work, Star Fox team. I received a message from the King and Queen Earthwalker, thanking you for saving their world. Oh, and Tricky says hi. I was, however, very surprised to hear that Andros was still alive.
Not as much as we were!
It seems that Andros discovered the ancient power of the Krazoa, and by trapping Krystal, who had the ability to channel this power, he was able to use this energy to revive himself.
At least this time we'll see the last of him. I'm transferring your fee as we speak. Pepper out.
Woohoo! Yeah!
We can finally repair the ship!
And I really need some oil. These joints are not what they used to be.
And I can't wait to get back with the Star Fox team. Hey guys, you don't mind if I hang with you again, do ya?
Sure, Falco. It's great to have you back.
The Star Fox team is back together again! Oh, Fox! I almost forgot! I received this message from Krystal.
Hi, Fox. I really appreciate what you did for me. I'm just so sorry we didn't get much of a chance to talk. I'm left with just one more thing to do.
And that's to say thank you.
Well, okay. I mean, sure, no problem.
You're not shy, are you, Fox?
My sensors indicate Fox's temperature is rising. Are you okay, Fox?
I'm gonna be just fine.
That is the cheesiest ending that could possibly have ever happened, ever. But now we're into the credits, which I have already accidentally watched the last episode, but yeah, so it was kind of a conclusive ending, I guess. Falco's back, as they remembered it's a Star Fox game and all that. But so, let's do what I always do, and during the credits have a little reflection on it as an LP. I really enjoyed this one, like, it is my favourite game, and it stood up well in an LP. There are parts that I found difficult, and parts that just I had to skip through and things like that, but I didn't fail that much. I didn't die the entire LP, so you never got to see a Bamford ad being used, which is kind of a shame, but I wasn't going to go and kill myself just so you could see that. I have really enjoyed doing this one, and it'll still, whatever you've thought of it as a game, this will still hold a place in my heart as one of my favourite games, and LPing it has completely confirmed that I love this game. It has its problems, most of them to do with the last 10 minutes of the game, literally. It's from the moments when it's revealed that that's not going to be a boss battle with Scales. It did go down... Dinosaur Planet, thanks. It did go downhill from there, I'll admit, but it wasn't that bad. It would have been nice to have a final boss on foot, like against Scales, but I don't know how they could have done that, because like all the bosses in the game pretty much, like the three actual bosses, like King Red Eye, the Galdon, and Dracor, are all like big bosses, like physically huge, and then there's the weird speeder chase thing, but like Scales just for a kind of like boss on foot, I don't know how they would have done that, so I can kind of see why they didn't do that. But I thought they recovered it well enough to say that I wasn't a fan of obviously the Star Foxing at the end that they did, but the final boss against Andros is fine. But oh, have a look here as well. These are the kind of the voice actors, and there's one of them who does everything, literally. Oh, the same person as Tricky and his dad. Oh my god, I never knew that. Oh, he was Chief Lightfoot. Ridiculous. Yeah, this dude, Jay Silky. He's everything, apparently. He was like Garunda creature in the well. Oh, that was the storekeeper. Oh my god. Man, that guy was pretty busy as well. Yeah, it was the same guy whose scales was like Garunda Tay and loads of other things. It went by too past me to actually see all the other stuff he did. But Andros with the weirdest accent ever. Sounds almost kind of South African. Very odd. But it's kind of nice that they do go through the voice acts and actually say who was who, rather than just crediting them all as voice casts. I wonder if they've ever done anything else, really. But yeah, all in all, it is a very good game, and I don't know, if you've watched this and not played it, have a playthrough. It's quite good fun. And the plot's not, it's not the most original plot ever, and it has its slight problems, but I do like it. And as I say, will always hold a place in my heart, because one of the first games one of the first 3D games I played, like when I first got my GameCube. Before then I've mostly been on like 2D stuff, like Pokemon, Mario, stuff like that. This is one of my first like big plot-driven 3D games that I played through. Oh, Koji Kondo gets special thanks. I imagine that's who that is. He's like Nintendo's main composer for like Zelda games and stuff. So obviously he probably had a hand in with the music, because the music is fantastic in this game. But additional musicians G. Kirkhope. I thought he would be in here, definitely. That is Grant Kirkhope, who is one of Rare's main composers, famous for doing the fantastic soundtracks for Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. I imagined he would have had a hand in somewhere. You don't get a great Rare game with a great soundtrack without having Kirkhope in there somewhere. But anyway, that's been Star Fox Adventures. So for one final time, it's cutting awkwardly back to the title screen for me, but I'm going to cut that out for you. For one final time, I've been the Doctor with the Infamous Gentleman. This has been Star Fox Adventures, and I hope you'll join me in a couple of weeks for my next project, for which I will drop a trailer following this. Thank you very much, and good day.
Ah!